Salutations, my friends, I'm TheMightyMander, and the next generation of gaming is upon us, everybody. I know a lot of people haven't been able to get their hands on a next-gen console, at least at launch, you know, and there are a lot of, like, you know, understandable reasons for that. No in-store stock due to the pandemic, extremely high demand, scalpers everywhere, reselling, buying up tons of PS5s and Series X's and S's and just reselling them at crazy markups, which, don't do that. But the Sunday before Thanksgiving, I happened upon a stroke of good luck, and Best Buy had restocked their new consoles unannounced at like 5:30 in the morning Eastern time. And I woke up at 7, saw a tweet from someone who wasn't even alerting that they had been restocked, just a random, like it was Dizzy Need from NetherRealm Studios. He said, "Hey, I got a PS5 from Best Buy," and I'm like, I wonder if they've still got Xboxes. And well, they did. So here it is. So yes, I've been lucky enough to be able to get my hands on an Xbox Series X earlier than I thought I would be, and so I wanted to kind of dip my toe into a little bit of a hardware review on the channel here. So we're gonna do a little bit of an unboxing and first impressions of the box and the presentation of it and how easy it is to set up and initial impressions of what the games look like. So yeah, without further ado, let's unbox this bad boy. Y'all, I am so excited for this. This thing, like the reason I went with the Xbox, right, is because my Xbox is in such a dire need of an upgrade. That's where I do a lot of my socializing with gaming. A lot of my online gaming happens on Xbox, and I'm still rocking the 2013, like, gigantic VCR model of the Xbox One. So this should be a huge upgrade for me. So I am super excited. Bro, this tape. Bro, why am I so bad at unboxing shit, dog? Why is this always the worst part? It's just getting the goddamn tape off. Like, fuck. Maybe I should have used a knife for this instead of these dull-ass scissors? Nah, we're good. We're good. Bro, how does it work? How do you get the damn thing open? Oh, it's upside down. It's upside down. It's definitely upside down. Okay, here we go. Here we go. This is the way we open it. Ta-da! There we go. Okay, I can already tell before I fucked it up. There we go. Wow. That's a pretty impressive presentation, man. I won't lie. So there we go. Here's the box. So here it is, man. Here's the box. It's not very big. It's pretty heavy for its size. I like the way it looks standing up. It's got, you know, the vents with the green paint inside. This looks pretty cool. Disk drive. There's a little bit of a base plate down here for you. You get your HDMI cord. You get your power cord. And what do we got over here? Is this the controller? This is the controller. Okay, so the Xbox, the Series controller, I can already tell it's probably only lighter because there's no battery pack in it, but it is definitely smaller than the Xbox One controller. It's a little bit grippier, a little bit better. The triggers feel, the bumpers feel a little bit clickier. Triggers feel a little bit more responsive. The grip feels real nice. The D-pad is very clicky and very satisfying. I like that a lot. And everything else feels pretty much the same. The sticks feel the same. There's an addition of the share button right there. So, but yeah, I mean, it feels like an Xbox controller. You know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And they definitely didn't break it with the last one. So I think that's everything for the box. I have to say, everything's presented really well. It's nice. It's very nicely packaged, the thing is. So yeah, without further ado, let's get it set up. You know, I'll get it plugged in, I'll turn it on, and we'll show you guys the transfer process. Wow. Okay. So, yeah, you literally, if you're signed in on the Xbox app, you literally hit, like, you know, connect to a new console, and then you just input a bunch of settings, and it will download all your settings while it's updating the console with the firmware update. So that's what it's doing now. So now I've just got to wait. That's insane. That's so easy. Holy fuck. That's really cool. Like, you know, Xbox's pitch about having this whole ecosystem and shit is just like real, like, you know, they put their money where their mouth is. This is like insanely user-friendly, more so than any other console I've ever had to set up in the past. You know, like transferring my data from my PS4 to my PS4 Pro was not this easy. It wasn't difficult, but it wasn't this easy. That's insane. So yeah, good stuff. Hey everybody, it's Future Sal here, or was that past Sal? I don't fucking know, whatever. It's December 28th when I'm recording this. I don't know when it's gonna go up, but basically, just wanted to give you guys a little bit of an update to how life has been with the Xbox Series X, you know, beyond just the unboxing, right? I've lived with the console for a month now, and I wanted to give you guys a little bit of an update as to what it's like living with the thing. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cover a few basics of like, you know, what the experience of the console has been like, and then I'm going to go into specifics by listing off like, you know, all the optimized games that I've been trying out, and just, you know, going over like in brief what my experience has been with each of them. So starting with the console itself, the point I want to emphasize here is quick resume. Xbox Series X quick resume, and I would imagine it's very similar on the Series S, is wild. It's kind of mind-blowing. Like, being able to suspend a game in like a save state for a few days and then come back to it and be exactly where you left off without having to worry about reloading saves or like, you know, waiting for load times or booting up times or anything like that. It's just crazy. It's really impressive. Like, you know, I'm not sure if the novelty of it is going to wear off eventually, but it hasn't yet. It's still really, really just convenient. It's magic. It's fucking magic. Like, it's like definitely the main thing that is impressing me about having this new console, right? Other than the individual performance of specific games, which we're going to get into in a second. Because other than that, the experience is pretty much the same, right? It doesn't feel particularly new, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It is definitely an improved version of the old Xbox experience in terms of like, you know, UI and menus and stuff like that. But quick resume is the biggest thing, man. Getting into the games though, Borderlands 3 is the one I'm going to start off with because it's the first alphabetically, and also it's the one that has impressed me the most, like, which I wasn't really expecting. The next gen upgrade for Borderlands 3 is fucking spectacular. Being able to adjust FOV, right? You know, very, very small thing, but the FOV in Borderlands has always been a problem for me. It's always been way too close, right? I can't see enough of the environment. I can't see enough of what's going on around me. I have no periphery. Now, not a problem anymore. Like, you know, you get to see more of the environment. It all looks great. You get to see more of them crazy colors and fucking sweet looking guns. And the game runs at 60 FPS in 4K, which is incredible. Like, the game looks great. It's reinvigorated my interest in this game that I haven't played a ton since it came out. It's really good. Real good. Definitely like a real good, surprising, optimized next-gen game. Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, it's, you know, it's Call of Duty. All right. For sure is. It has, you know, like a few next gen, like, you know, bells and whistles. It's got 4K, it's got some ray tracing, but, you know, it's not really mind blowing in any other way other than that. It's a new Call of Duty game. It's fun, you know. It is what it is. Quick note about this one. This one has been responsible for the majority of crashes and, like, you know, power offs that have happened during my time with the system. Like, you know, overall my experience has been great technically, but Call of Duty has crashed the system on multiple occasions, which I've heard is a problem. Not just for me on this system, not just for this system in general, not even just for new gen consoles in general. I've heard the game is having some performance issues. So yeah, it's probably not very good for the console to have a game just shut it off forcefully without any warning and have to hard reboot, you know, so probably not great. Those issues seem to be ironed out, at least for me, as of this point, but it was a little bit rough there at the start, I won't lie. Next is Cyberpunk 2077. So I've been playing a lot of this game. I don't want to talk about it other than the fact that it runs really well on Series X. I personally really like the game, but the coverage of it has been exhausting and really annoying, and I don't want to add to it. Basically, if you're trying to play Cyberpunk and, you know, you don't have a PC and you manage to get your hands on an Xbox Series X, solid option to play the game. It runs at 60 FPS and the game looks great and it runs pretty well. Like, you know, loading screens are really not too obtrusive, and generally the game runs really well on Series X. Next is DMC 5 Special Edition. Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition is just a better version of Devil May Cry 5. It's got more content, it's got, again, like, you know, ray tracing options and stuff like that, but the main selling point of this game for me was the legendary Dark Knight difficulty mode that they added. Basically what that means is because a next-gen console can handle it, and I'm pretty sure they did something similar with Devil May Cry 4 back at the beginning of this console generation, that basically being that because the new hardware can handle it, this mode basically floods every single encounter with as many enemies as you can fit on screen. And so it's just an absolute ballistic, crazy, cranked up to 11 version of the combat in Devil May Cry 5. And that's super fucking awesome. Also, the new playable character, Virgil, he's great. He's really fun, probably my favorite character to play in the game. So yeah, this is a solid port. Doesn't really push the hardware to its limits, I would imagine, but it's just a great version of a great game. So yeah, definitely a solid recommendation from me. I played a little bit of the next-gen versions of Grounded and No Man's Sky, just a couple of, you know, like they've got the Series X, Series S tag on the icon in the games library, and so I'm like, oh, I'll check these out, see what these are about. And basically, yeah, just optimized versions of both of these games. They both run at 60 FPS. They've both got a lot of really, really cool lighting and particle effects that they didn't have before. And yeah, especially in the case of Grounded, right? Like Grounded, I played it on Xbox One, and I'm like, it's a pretty fun game. It looks like shit though. And the reason it looked like shit is because it didn't have any of the good lighting or textures or good resolution or a high frame rate. And it was not a great way to play that game. But I would imagine that there's a lot more like the PC version, where it's like, oh, this game has a very simple art style, but it's fucking pretty because it's got great lighting. No Man's Sky just, you know, it just runs real smooth. Like, it runs at 60 FPS, which is definitely the ideal way to play that game. And I've heard that, you know, the initial boot up was a real problem for No Man's Sky, which I don't believe it is anymore. It still chugs a bit when you're loading up the game, but once you get in, the experience is real smooth. Mortal Kombat 11 has some pretty nifty Xbox Series X upgrades. The story is in 4K, which looks great. All the cutscenes look better. All the cinematics are all in 4K. Load times are obviously way faster, and everything feels like just a little bit more crisp, you know? Like, now that all the cinematics and the characters are all in 4K and everything, it just everything runs a little bit smoother. Everything looks a little bit crisper. The colors pop a little bit more. And yeah, solid upgrade on this, you know, especially for a game that I played all the fucking time anyway. And I think that's pretty much all the Series X optimized games that I've played so far. I mean, I know there's a bunch more on Game Pass, but they are on games that don't really look all that interesting to me. The only one that I haven't played yet that I really, really am anxious to is Ori. I've heard that the optimizations on that game are incredible, so I'll definitely be checking that one out in the near future. Other than that, you know, I've played some backwards compatible stuff. In general, I think the experience with a lot of those games is going to be pretty much the same, just with maybe a slightly faster boot time, you know, very slightly better performance, like, you know, maybe not as long of loading screens, stuff like that. In general, I think you'll find that load times are improved across the board on every generation of Xbox, and Series X optimized games generally have a lot of visual bells and whistles, 4K, 60 FPS, quick load times. And overall, the experience has been really, really great for me so far. Like, I think my biggest complaint about the Series X so far is that I wish it had Hades on it, and that's not really the fault of the console. Please, Supergiant, please Xbox, put Hades on Game Pass, I beg of you. Everybody needs to play that game. Anyway, that has been my experience with the Series X so far. It's been overall very, very positive. I'm not gonna put a score or you know, any kind of grade or measurement on it. I don't really have any way to quantify it. Like, you know, it's just a solid, like, it's a huge improvement over the previous Xbox, which is all I really wanted. If you're looking for an upgrade, this is definitely solid. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I thought I'd dip my toe into a little bit of hardware coverage here on the channel, just while I had the opportunity to. I know it's a little bit late, but, you know, I was busy with end of year work and holiday stuff and quarantine depression mixed with seasonal depression mixed with regular depression, and I'm already a procrastinator, so here we are. If it's still 2020 by the time I post this, I hope you all stay responsible on New Year's and have a great and much more prosperous 2021. You know, I think we all deserve that. So, these have been my impressions and a little bit of a weird unboxing at the beginning of the Xbox Series X. As always, I've been the Mighty Mander, and I'll see you all next time. Peace out, my friends.